Hi, this is not going to be a full 15.5 minute or so nightly newsfeed wrap up. I'm just, I was scouring my news feeds as I usually do to prepare for this, and I just don't find much of anything that I want to comment on. But at Ike's news feed, I finally found something that tweaked me. And so I'm going to talk about it and maybe a few other things as well, and then I'm going to close out and get some shut eye. Going on to David Icke. Time magazine pushes death agenda. Colon. Remove feeding tubes from the dying elderly and get a cash bonus. Well, I haven't seen this edition of Time, but it doesn't surprise me. Time magazine is peddling a death agenda propaganda piece, excuse me, with with a new issue that features these words on the cover: How to Die. Time magazine cover story. I think I'm allergic to it. Inside, the magazine promotes a cost-saving death agenda that encourages readers to literally pull the feeding tubes from their dying elderly parents, causing them to dehydrate and die. I will interject here and tell you that I was a wrestler in high school Oklahoma. That is as opposed to other parts of Oklahoma existence, high school Oklahoma. I was a wrestler there, and I used to dehydrate my body in order to, from my 165 to 170 weight young adult body, pull down to 141 pounds for the 141 pound bracket. And let me tell you, I mean, I can think of ways like burning at the stake or being killed with a cheese grater, but aside from those, dying of thirst runs a very close second. Thirst is a pain monster. Thirst is just a horrible, real thirst. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go for 3 days without water. Just don't drink anything for 3 days and see how you feel. Let alone running 10 kilometers a night in a rubber suit. Inside, the magazine promotes a cost-saving death agenda that encourages readers to literally pull the feeding tubes from their dying elderly parents, causing them to dehydrate. Read mind-blowing pain, soul-scouring pain. So cruel. and die. This is explained as a new cost-saving measure that drastically reduces return hospital visits by the elderly, because dead people don't return to the hospital. I could say so much, I don't know where to begin. This is Time Magazine, your bestest mainstream media friend, the rag that you love to read on the shitter when you're trying to shit out your corn-fed beef that just won't come out your bunghole. It just won't squeeze out of there because it was fed corn and antibiotics and, you know, other cows, and it just won't squeeze out of your butthole. And so as you're sitting there straining, you American men who won't defend your wives from naked body scanners and who won't stop your children from getting groped up by TSA goons, you men, you sit on your shitters and you read Time, trying to squeeze out that turd that just won't quite make it. And here it is telling you that you should kill your parents. By thirstation. How far does it have to go before you rise up and kick them in the nuts? How far does it have to go? Really? I'm gonna check my time. Only 7.5 minutes, okay. From a Luciferian perspective, this is all as it should be. The old people have stopped producing. Well, they still produce. They produce gas. They produce farts. And that's about it. They don't grow the economy, this satanic economy. They don't grow it. So they are to be eliminated. But in a godly society, those people are to be honored and they are to be listened to. Assuming that they did not grow up their whole lives watching sports and other retarded forms of television and basically eating contaminated feed so that they don't have anything to offer to the younger generations by design. And so they are to be flushed down the toilet. You see, it's all by design. But here I've got to say this, in Korea it's a bit different. It's a bit different here in Korea. They're a bit behind schedule here. And I'm going to tell you a couple of ways that they're behind schedule here. One way in which they are behind schedule here is that the old people are still gruff and cranky and full of all kinds of outstanding knowledge. They know how to get shit done, and they know how to make amazing stuff. They know what is good for the body. They know what is good for the mind, the old people. They know what's right and wrong. They know how to live off the land, the old people. I talk to them every single day. And they love me because I speak their language and I love them. And sometimes I ask them as I'm riding on the subway car and I'm sizing up the young bucks in their fashions, what do you think about those young fellers there? You're still tough. You can still defend your country. What do you think about them? Oh, they're all right. Yeah, if push came to shove, they could do it. Yeah, well, you've got a serious adversary attacking your society. Who you talking about? The Jews? That's what they say to me. Israel? That's what they say to me. They know. I talk to taxi drivers. They tell me, yeah, I ferry all sorts of people across town. Europeans, Americans, South Americans, Africans. But there's one kind of person that I just can't stand, and that's the Jew, because he tries to bilk me out of my fare. I don't like the Jew. Fair enough. That's the commentary that I get. Koreans don't like the Jew. So, they're behind schedule here. There ain't no anti-Jew speak hate laws gonna go into effect here anytime fucking soon. And the other thing is that the police are really fucking good in Korea. The police are really good. And I've done thought experiments in my mind. I think it takes at least 2 generations and probably 3 generations to fully corrupt a police force. And this police force is patriotic. And they're not sucking Jew cock. And they're intelligent. And they love their country. Check on my time. 13 minutes, okay. And I'll close out by saying that by and large in Korea, old people are still very well taken care of. They have their centers where they get together and meet and confabulate and talk about old times. And one of my goals here is to create a program where the old people can get together with the young people and pass on the old ways to teach them how to make the traditional foods and the traditional handicrafts and preserve that culture to fight the globalist motherfuckers that want to destroy it. I have to rant really quietly, and that probably woke my wife up. She'll probably come out in a minute. And bust my balls. But I'm trying to do this really quietly. I still have anger. But maybe I got away with it. She wants me to be quiet and peaceful. But I'm here to do more than that. Okay. Coming up on 15 minutes, I'm going to close out. Thank you for listening. Far gone.